Good afternoon, everyone. As you already know, I'm Mr. Nathaniel Palmer, host of Higher Intellect Podcast. Thank you for tuning in with us. This is episode 4, one of my favorite numbers. So we got to make this powerful. We got to make this inspiring. We got to help you reach a little bit higher within us in our journey as well. So I got a very special guest with me, all the way from Arizona, right? I told you we're reaching a little bit higher, so we had to reach out and reach the tap on our brother Terrell Henry. At this time, I'm gonna let Terrell introduce himself. He understands the power of communication and putting yourself in position. So let him speak.
Cool. What's up, y'all? I'm Terrell. I am a lot of things, but I'm mostly just a freelancer. I spent some time in the I was my first career with that for like 4 years, and then I want to say the end of 2019, beginning of 2020, I decided to just go completely freelance and just do my thing, keep myself busy, make my own schedule, pick up projects that I want to do, whatever the case may be. So that's a little bit about me. Me and Nate go back to what high school or whatever.
Oh,
So we go back a minute. It's really like my brother. So I'm really glad and excited to be here. Yeah. So let's get to it.
most definitely. Like you said, we go back to high school, and we weren't so. I like to call myself a polished knucklehead. Because we was definitely some knuckleheads. You could barely get us to go to class. So to be here where we are, both working in our respective lives and roles and just engaging in these different projects, um, it speaks so highly of just reaching a little bit higher and growing through your journey and understanding that this is your journey and that only you can determine how it's supposed to go. Everybody can talk about their roadmaps and things that matter, but only you can determine how it's supposed to go. But I definitely wanted to get Terrell on here because Terrell is doing some major things in Arizona, but his impact in Arizona is reaching out to other cities, and we get to experience it because we have this thing called social media and things of that matter. So we get to tap in and be like, "Hey, okay, I need to pull up the AZ because that event they had last week was dope, or that event they had online was dope." And I just had to get him on here, because the entity that I know, all the great work that he's doing it under, falls under the name of Creative Collabs, right?
Yeah, yeah, creative collabs.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so me and my guy Cruz ended up starting Creative Collabs in like 2019. We was just looking to like have some stuff to do, like something different to do out here in Arizona outside of just like partying, clubbing. Like we wanted to really appeal to like the artists, and the creatives and be able to create environments like that we, wanted to be in instead of like, oh, I don't like this DJ or I don't like this, I don't like that. Like, granted, it's all like subjective, but at the end of the day, we wanted to be able to create our own experiences. So with that, we just started to reach out to the community, meet different artists, allow them to come and present their, art or music at some of our showcases. And we just look to continue to create different like vibes, different feels, like how you was just talking about last week. We did a vintage thrift shop pretty much with a local gallery out here called And Gallery, and we staged the entire gallery to like 5 or 6 different themes, that made it feel nostalgic. And then from there, we had like, I want to say we probably had 10 to 12 like different collectors and designers like participate and be able to, either help decorate or have their stuff for sale as long with not as long with but along with Goodwill, Goodwill, and some other local thrift shops. So it's just like just working here or just doing the stuff that I'm doing now and just really open me up to like doing stuff for the community and just getting involved with the local artists.
Yeah, man, and it's so dope because, like I said, I watched the experience from like social media, and I'm like, dang, this is like a thrift con, and I'm like, that's dope. That's something that I wish we had here because I'm here. I'm in Texas. I'm not originally from Texas, but it's just like, okay, that's dope. So I'm seeing the impact, and I'm just seeing the people collaborating and come together to make this event like the bomb because it was like really like to me like larger than life because I'm somebody that I get stuck in my head. I'll have an idea and it'll be so beautiful in my head. It's like I'll get engaged to it now, marry the ideal in my head, and it never comes out. so we never get to see the event. So when I see people actively have these ideas and then they produce the idea, I don't downplay it because I understand how many times we've had mind breaking ideas or just concepts in our head that we do not, allow to become a reality. So man, I definitely commend you on that, man. Especially just like I said, we went to high school together and we was in Arkansas. So to see somebody transition to a whole nother state and become so like woven within the community and to be able to have events like that, that's no small feat. No small feat at all. And I'm just kind of curious, man. Like how was your journey within that to even create those, camaraderies and relationships to where you can have the pool that you have in the community?
Um, I would say just put myself out there. Like when I was still in the military, like I started doing photography. But you remember, like I used to do photography senior year in high school. But even there, like I didn't see myself as like a super creative person. Like I mean, I was cool, I was laid back, whatever the case may be. But I guess just over time, like just being in the military, being able to see a different country, and work with so many different people, even in South Korea and then here in Arizona. I just learned to speak up more and be able to present myself and say what I bring to the table or what I do, whatever the
Mm,
case may be. So it's like once I made that transition, I didn't have another choice because I chose to bank on myself or whatever. So it's like you can't be like, oh, I'm gonna be a freelancer, but don't want to tell nobody, you're a freelancer or put yourself out there with all that you do or whatever. So that was just one of the things that I ended up doing, like kind of the same thing. Like people, met me through coming to our events, or I met them at an event or something like that, and they liked the vision, they liked what we were doing. And then from there, I just began working with different people, working with more people, pulling up to people events, all this stuff, just constantly networking and collaborating with different people, and it just continues to open more doors for me. So like when the opportunity comes up, I'll get like an email like, hey, we had this opportunity, or I'll get a text like, hey, we want you to do this, or I get a call, whatever the case may be. But it just all came from the strength of working with people, and then just creating something that's unique and different to people, I feel.
right, right, right. I know you mentioned just kind of being in the military and things of that matter. Do you feel like that exposure, like, because you said you went to like another country, do you feel like that exposure, like, just kind of helped you in a way, or like, what did that do for you? Because I know from my experiences, it wasn't until I was 24 years of age to where I left the country and I went somewhere else, and it painted a whole nother narrative of how big the world really was and how small I had condensed it to be in my life. So, like,
Yeah.
what was your experience? What was that experience like for you?
It was like a jump off the porch because like even before being in Little Rock, I grew up in New Orleans, so like going from New Orleans to Little Rock was already a big shift for me because New Orleans is a lot more fast paced, a lot more going on in a sense. So just even making that transition to Little Rock, like all I had was family there. Like I didn't really know nobody, and I still the select few people that I really did meet there,
Mm-hmm.
y'all are my friends to this day,
Mm-hmm.
type stuff. But even then, like being 18, going straight to the military, like being from those two southern cities, like you're not used to seeing a lot. Like I used to travel when I was small, but again, like we wasn't thinking about that type of stuff, like not in high school for real. We was just trying to, make some money, or, the quickest way to make another dollar. So it's like once I realized I was going like to another country, I was like, I feel like I felt every emotion there was to feel. Like I can remember, crying on the airplane because I'm like, bro, what's going on? You see what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's just, oh, you away from your friends, you're away from your family, so you really have no other choice but to step somewhat outside of your shell.
Yeah,
Like you got to do something because, again, you going over here for a year, let's go. Like,
yeah,
like, no, you
yeah.
can't, you can't tell them like, no, I'm not gonna go, or whatever the case may be. So it just constantly like forced me to evolve more and more and more. Just I think having that separation away from all of my people, I felt like, you gotta make it worth something. Like at the end of the day, like you can't give back that time. You can't give back, any experiences that you ultimately miss, just being away and like further away at that. So yeah, it just pushed me to the point where it's like, yeah, you just gotta continue to step up.
Yeah, man. Like I don't know, you kind of got me when you was talking about on being on the plane. That's a situation I never really thought about. Like you said, you was kind of packing up and just getting on the plane. Like, okay, I'm here. But then I guess it really hit you once you got on the plane. Like, I'm here, and like, where am I going? And
Right.
I guess a good way to put it was like you was reaching, but you didn't know what you was reaching for. You know,
Right.
so yeah, I could. I never even thought about that. Like I've been knowing Terrell for a minute, but I never even thought about the strain that mentally could have put on him. Like, okay, I'm leaving everything behind, and that just it's just my life to stand up for everything that's bigger than my life for us. So, in the sense, she was doing it not only for you, but she was doing it for us as well. So it's like, dang, that's a level of vulnerability and just openness that's something I never even thought about, man. Like, dang, like so shout out to anybody that's in the army, the service, or anything. Y'all really doing this for not just yourself, but us, in some shape or form. Anything you guys do for us. I mean,
Yeah.
anything you guys do for this country, you're doing for us. And I think a lot of times we kind of don't even mentally think about what that does to your mental strain until we see these documentaries on Netflix, or we see people coming back and they talking about the horrors of the country that they're fighting for. They're not receiving the just due that they feel like they deserve. And yeah, it kind of started before then. You just kind of helped me realize that, man. So thank you for everything you've done. Thank everyone for everything that you've ever done for this country. I'm greatly appreciative of it, and I'm just thankful. If it wasn't for you guys' sacrifice, I wouldn't even have this opportunity to freely even indulge in dialogue with my brother like this. So, man, I'm grateful, my guy. I'm grateful. We talked about a lot of the things that you priorly done and previously done. Is there anything you got in the works coming up in the future?
I'm working on a couple things right now. So I'm working on a Black Friday project
Mhm.
that started last summer. Yeah, last summer, and it was basically to start highlighting like black businesses out here in Arizona. So our overall mission is to uplift and highlight black businesses here, and we started last year, and we just started like just collecting names, collecting businesses or whatever, and it was like another collaborative project. I think we have like probably like 5 or 6 different like people who do like different stuff like personally or whatever contributing to the project, and I ended up taking on the graphic design and social media lead behind it. So we ended up coming with a website and an app that has
Oh,
like every
wow.
business out here in Arizona that we currently know of accessible or whatever. So of course we want
Mm,
to grow it, grow it, grow it. So that's something that's been ongoing, and then through that I was able to come on the opportunity to be on community managed loan fund for BIPOC businesses. So it'll be with the organization out here, nonprofit organization out here, and I'll be one of the committee members. And we're in the process of, building the underwriting and, going through what's going to ultimately be our decision making process and just learning about like the loan process in general. Because again,
mm,
we're just committee members, we do our own separate
yeah.
thing. You know what I mean? So that's like been another big thing that I started at the beginning of this year or whatever. And I have a couple other things just kind of in the works with creative collabs. We looking to do some more music stuff, so like a hip hop thing, maybe like a cipher of some sort. And I may also be doing the media coordination for the Juneteenth festival out here. So I'll be, pretty much in charge of like getting that content together. So that along with any other like photography project or videography project that I pick up sometimes, like yeah, just keeping busy, man. um I'll be trying to like just stay working, stay busy at the end of the day. So yeah, that's like the major things, and anything else is kind of like either in the mix or in the works of happening, or I'm gonna just come up with some ideas of some stuff that I ultimately want to do out here or somewhere else. Yeah.
Hey, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Terrell Henry, man. Hey, that sounds like to me some larger than life plans right there. I'm one of those people that say that believes in that anytime you do something that's like greater than yourself. It's not little or it's not small. Like some people like I got this little small project, got this little project, whatever coming up. I really kind of like I ain't gonna just bashfully say it, but I might try to nudge it in there. Hey man, that ain't little. That's larger than life. And they're like, what you mean? I'll be like, if it impact more than your life, it's larger than the life. You feel me? So it's not something small. It's not something medium. It's that's major. So when you speak life into what you're doing, like you finna do some great things. And something that I want to highlight was that he stated that they have lives and that they're going through this long process to where they're giving back to the community. And you stated that it's not something that you're familiar with, but you understand that it's some things that you got to learn along the journey. It's some other things you got to embrace that you didn't come fully equipped with, that you're going to have to grab that skill set so that you can progress and help more people, man. So that's that's huge because that's you reaching a little bit higher in everything that you currently got going. And
Right.
I'm gonna throw in a little something there. I'm getting married, July, whatever. So we're gonna have to throw you on the schedule on there somewhere. We need some pictures. So, I wouldn't have it no other way. Somewhere in there, good, but I know you're busy. But I got to get on your calendar in advance. But just let me know. Shoot me a text, anything. I'm trying to get in there. We need that good work. You feel me?
Say less, man. Just shoot me a text or a call, and I'll get you in there for sure. I've
Most
been looking
definitely.
for anything.
And yeah, man, like y'all heard what the man said he's doing. You heard what he's doing for Arizona, the community. He's trying to collaborate, network, bring things together. So if there's anything that you guys heard or it moved you, whatever, reach out because
Right.
you never know what resources that you have available that could be beneficial to more than a life because you got larger than life ideas, concepts, and everything else. And I'm pretty sure he would do the same. If you guys reach out, he might, how did y'all, reach out to him? How did you guys come up with this platform to get the black business to even buy into the idea? We can have that in Charlotte, we can have that in Dallas, Little Rock, and everywhere else. It just takes somebody to be willing to take that first step and reach it and grab it. Sometimes you don't even know what you're reaching for, but if you're not reaching, you're not gonna grab anything. So yeah, I'm like, if you got any resources, any thoughts, anything like that, always reach out to my guy, Terrell Henry behind Creative Collabs. Like the name suggests, it's a collaboration of many. So
Yeah.
any is plenty. Any support, anything you got is
That's
appreciated, man. Like,
what about it the most because it can be, whatever we want it to be. Same thing with like my photography and videography and, Polaroid pictures, unleash your image. And it's just like, just putting myself in a space to where I don't have to be like confined to any one thing like that. But that's just my preference, like personally, that allows me to, keep reaching higher because I know that I'm not in a box or whatever. I know that, I have more not necessarily control, but I can pick up, this, I can pick up that, I can pick up this, and I don't have to too much worry about, oh, I can't do it because of this, and that. Like I don't ever want to be like that type of person. So I want to be able to do whatever I want to do, when I want to do it. So that's the position that I end up trying to put myself in, or putting myself in, as much as I can.
hey, you're doing a great job, brother. From me to you, I see you, I feel you. Your impact's been felt. I feel like you're doing a great job, man. Just keep reaching a little bit higher, my guy. That's really it. We just gotta keep reaching. Long as I feel like, long as we got breath, we just gotta keep reaching for some more. Cause if we not reaching, I feel like we keeping society stagnant. Whether it's reaching for more information, being an advocate for somebody else, reaching to be a helping hand, whatever the case may be, man. You just gotta keep reaching.
Got to.
Yeah, man. But on another note, man, you put me on to something. The like maybe a month ago, you kind of introduced me to like this platform called Webull or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I had never utilized it or whatever. And if you guys not familiar with Webull, me not being an expert or whatever, but pretty much it's a financial platform that allows you to dabble within the financial markets and get into like these stocks. And you've been seeing it with Dogecoin and AMC and just numerous companies and things of that matter taking off in the stock market. And a lot of people that look like me and you have been taking advantage of it, man. And just how you feel about that world? Because for me, I feel like it's still kind of new to certain communities, and I'm just loving the fact that people actually interested in engaging in it.
Honestly, it I love it because it's just as new to me, and you the one who ultimately put me on when you put me on the forex or whatever. So you put me on the forex, and then that started like opening up my mind to where it's like, okay, what's really going on? Like, what am I not really like dealing with or not familiar on? So
Mm.
well, after I started trading forex, I'm like, okay, I'm getting the idea of it. And then I started looking at long-term investing or in general, because we talk about building generational wealth and stuff like that, but it's like we have to also understand that it takes a while, generations and generations, like that's a lot
Yeah.
of over time. So that's what ultimately got me into it, like just stocks in generals, and then from there just always looking to like learn more knowledge have a wider range of options when it comes to investing. So I'm not like crazy on Robinhood because I've seen so many people like say this and that, this and that, and I've been in like plays or trades or like options trades, and then it's like opening and you can't do nothing for like an hour. Like
Mm.
that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like
Woo.
so money. You know what I mean? So I got exposed to like Webull and then stuff like M1 Finance, which is pretty much like portfolio investing. Like you can buy fractional shares or have fractional shares of stocks. And then Rally Road, and I'm pretty sure I showed you that one. It's just
Oh
like
yeah, yeah, it did.
alternative investing. So it's like, those signed pair of Jordans, or they finna have a Declaration of Independence on there soon.
Hmm?
Yeah, and they selling shares of it. Yeah, bro.
So they selling shares of the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah. Like, and because they selling it for overall like for like 2 mil, I think. But again, you can buy shares. Did I show you that dinosaur head that I bought?
Yeah, you seen that. You
Oh,
bought some shares in the dinosaur head, didn't you?
yeah,
My
and
God,
it's
bro.
like,
This man buy dinosaur heads. He do for the community. This man, I'm convinced he be on a trash can lid with electricity. This man might be Static Shock. I was like, this man do it all.
want a little bit of everything, and then of course, gold, silver, that type of stuff. So
Yeah,
again, just investing, and it's like if we start doing it now, I'm 24. You know what? Like I start doing it now or whatever. I'm setting myself up to where even if I'm not the most consistent person now, in 2, 3, 4, 5 years, I will be. It's gonna be a no-brainer because it's gonna be like, boom, at this age, I started, breaking what I was never, exposed to, or exposing myself to things that I didn't know before. So I'm gonna outgrow old programming that had me not doing it. Because had I known like previously about, really investing and all of that type of stuff, then probably would have approached a lot of things differently. But
yeah.
live, learn, and grow, and continue to be better every day. Like that's just something I tell myself. Like, hey, be better every day. Get better every day.
Boy, I feel that. Uh, I feel like that's a inward and outward battle that we're gonna engage in every day. Because the inward, to wake up and be like, I got to get better, but then actually having steps written out to where they're measurable, to where you can determine what better is. Because better for some people is very subjective.
Facts.
So you got to really figure out what is better. Some people might be like, hey, I got up earlier. That's better. And for some people, that is better. So, but for somebody else looking in, they might be like, that ain't much. But I don't really, and I feel like that might be a limiting thought for so many people. If tomorrow you waking up a little bit earlier is better for you, keep doing it. Forget what
Yeah.
they talking about, because at one point in time, whatever they doing, it was something in their mind that they
Right.
thought was so major, and that they finally did it. So when they finally did it, it became everything they wanted it to be. But you know, for some people, it just stays in their mind. Like I started when we first talked about. Anytime somebody has an ideal or a concept and they make it happen, superhero, you're dope, you're amazing. Because I'm guilty, and I know I ain't the only person guilty. We got billion-dollar ideas, life-changing ideas. We got momentum. We got nonprofits, foundations, and everything up here. But until we get it out here, nobody can reap the rewards. So
Facts.
yeah, man, I hear you when you say just start somewhere. You 24, I just turned 25. What does 5 years look like if we consistently get better, man? And with that, I'm gonna leave you with two questions. Two questions. Here at Higher Intellects, we always pose some questions. My first question: Blake Griffin, where is he going, and where will he make the biggest difference?
Uh, Immediately, I think the easiest thing would be like the Nets, honestly. Give them a little bit more size, a little bit more physicality, and some rebounding. Um, Outside of that, like if you want to really contend, it's hard to say because all the other like contending teams, like not many people need much. Like Phoenix, I know he was supposed to go to Phoenix like a
Mm,
couple years ago.
yeah, that didn't go through.
It didn't go through. So I think this would be a good time to kind of revisit Phoenix. But it's like, how well can he play into that role? Because I know they like, surrounding the floor with some shooters and stuff like that. But again, I think he can make a difference, especially like some longevity. Blake Griffin, DeAndre Ayton, and Devin Booker. Like, that's a nice little three,
Yeah,
type stuff. You
it
got
would be nice.
you got some wing guys up there too, or out here,
Mm,
really out here, because I live
Phoenix.
in KC, or
Ooh,
whatever.
okay,
Out here,
that would be
it's
good.
like they got a squad, so it's like that'll be fun. Like then you got Chris Paul leading the point now, like that'll be tough. So that would be like my top two for him. Like I'd rather him
Splash
come
Brothers.
to Phoenix. I'd rather him come to Phoenix because it's just right here. But again, I would say either the Nets or the Suns.
I can respect that. I can respect that. Me, I was thinking definitely if he goes to the Nets, mentally, I've already said they can win it all.
Mm,
And it's not just because Blake Griffin is just a missing piece. I'm just looking at the roster as is. I'm just looking at the bench. I'm looking at the players that's hurt, looking at if they can fully come back before playoffs and all that. They got a pretty good squad, man. Like just on the big names itself, we talking about KD, we talking about Harden, we talking about Kyrie, we talking about in my opinion, Joe Harris, because he's
mm,
a problem. You
yeah.
got you got DeAndre Jordan, who can still be a problem. You got Blake Griffin. And you got other people that like are still trying to get their time in rotations within the clock.
Right.
So I mean, I feel in regards to impact and just length of bench and things that matter, that would be a factor. My next team, I'm still trying to debate on the chemistry, but I'm a Miami Heat fan. So anytime we can get in somebody that can, help a little bit with the inside. Of course, he would have to come and tap into their Miami Heat defensive culture. I don't care what y'all say. We play defense down there. I feel like that would be a nice little fit between him, Bam, Jimmy, our young guns, Tyler Hero, and all them getting it together, so we can make another run for it. Because I mean, the East only getting stronger, and we the strongest. But yeah, just leave that right there. Uh, I got one more question for you. We kind of talked about this. You kind of planted the narrative in my head a little bit. I was talking about if getting better was waking up 10 minutes early or something for the next person, kudos to them. Do that. Continue to do that and get better. What would be your 10 minutes that could help you get better every day?
10, 10
Yes.
minutes.
What could you spend 10 minutes on, whether it was getting up? What would your 10 minutes of greatness be every day?
I had 10 minutes to get better every day.
Yeah.
Journaling.
Oh, that's crazy.
I I think a lot. I do a lot, and I feel like if I really was like to either write my thoughts down, every day for 10 minutes, or write about how I feel every day for 10 minutes, I think it'll really like boost me even more with like anything I do professionally and any relationship I have, socially, or intimately. So I think just being able to consistently journal 10 days, and then I write poetry, but I don't write it as much as I
Yeah.
used to. So it's like even being able to tap into that creativity, it'll help, with my overall voice. So I think journaling would be it for me.
That's crazy. I know for a fact that's what my 10 minutes would be. Just journaling, writing things down. Like I said, I feel like the the reason why well I'm gonna say this one of the reasons why the ideas never get up out of here because we never start to even write it down somewhere so they can be planted somewhere else.
Right.
You never plant the seed for it to grow and be sprouted and all that beautiful things. So journaling would definitely be it for me. And I definitely think it would help. I feel like it would help not even just me, obviously not just me, because you just said the same thing. But speaking from a black male perspective, I feel like that would help a lot of us. Just more so from my upbringing, that we've never really been taught how we are allowed to express ourselves
Right.
or just unravel. So maybe if we took more time to start writing down things or just getting it all out here, it wouldn't be so much mental bondage upstairs, and we
Yeah.
could, maneuver through life a little bit easier.
Yeah, I mean, clarifying our thoughts and finding our words in general. Like words are weapons. Like being able to articulate what you want to do, what you want to say, all of that. Like that's powerful. Even being able to reach the masses. Being able to speak in a way to where you can understand. People on different levels. Like everybody can't do that or whatever. So yeah, it's super important, and that's something I try to value more and more. It's like my voice, my words, my voice, my words. Again, that's what end up opening doors for you. You never know who you sit next to on the airplane,
Yeah.
or whatever, like wherever you at, whatever you do, like you never know like who that person is until you speak to them or whatever. And then again, we start talking about instinct, intuition, stuff like that. Like you got to be able to listen to your inner voice, and be able to
Yeah, boy.
understand like what's your thoughts and what's not your thoughts. Because sometimes
Mm,
we pick up on other people's thoughts and feelings, and we start thinking that it's ours, and it don't be. So that just helps, being able to split that difference between what's really you, like what's your voice, and then what's not your voice.
boy, that was a nugget. That was a nugget right there. It was a six piece with honey mustard. I'm a honey mustard fan. If y'all like barbecue, y'all can have barbecue. But that was a nugget right there because you definitely said something. Writing down things would probably definitely help me like separate what's actually my thoughts versus what somebody else thoughts. Because that's really about it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Especially someone like me, I listen to a lot of podcasts. I listen to a lot of theory. I just kind of listen to a lot of information that kind of drivels from a lot of lifestyles that I can't live right now.
Mm,
So I try to expose myself to that thinking or those different entities of knowledge because if I wait till the day I'm ready to walk in that life, I'll never be ready. So it's like I got to expose myself to the information or the skill sets or whatever I'm trying to attain so I can get ready. So yeah, I feel you on that, man. Most definitely. If you got any closing remarks for the people, any information you want to drop, social media, etc.
yeah, you can follow me on Instagram at Unleash Your Image, all one word. My organization, Creative Collabs, two underscores. Yeah, hit me up about whatever. I don't care. I don't mind. Like I'm always, working and looking to connect with people in different states, different cities, whatever the case may be. You want to work, you want to talk, let's get to it. And other than that, I would say never be afraid, eliminate fear from your life and your thought process when it comes to like your thoughts, your ideas, whatever the case may be. If something is you, let it be you, let it become a part of you instead of, trying to hide it away or shield it all the time. Like you'll never get the exposure that you need or want by, hiding behind the scenes or, standing outside the club or being on the sidelines all the time. Like eventually you got to get in the game. Like you just got to, and whatever that lane is for you, let it be there. But at the end of the day, like you have to understand, like if you really in it for the long haul, then you in it for the long haul. You ain't gonna figure it out, today, tomorrow, and that's gonna be it. Even everybody who in it for the long haul continue to run into challenges and problems. So again, just continuing to improve and be better and get better and not, beating yourself up too much about it because there's plenty life to live and there's plenty to expose ourselves to and ultimately accomplish and achieve. We just gotta believe and know that we can.
Well, say now. We're going to get you back up on here now. Hey, now you making my job a little easy, but you in here, you speaking to the people. So some way, some shape or form, I'm pretty sure it's been some information that's been passed down from us that helps you reach a little bit higher, man. Like we sit here and talked about what our 10-minute nugget would be that will help us grow within our journey was journaling. Ask yourself, what would be your 10-minute nugget? 10 minutes a day, over a week, an hour, and 10 minutes. That adds up, hour and 10 minutes every week. Where will you be? What if it's an hour and 10 minutes learning about investment? What is an hour and 10 minutes learning how to draw? Whatever the case may be, man. I'm pretty sure it's something that 10 minutes could manifest in your life. But with that being said, man, thank you so much for coming in and tuning in with us. Thank you for allowing me to even interview you and talk to you, my guy, Mr. Terrell.